Welcome to the No Streetlights podcast. I'm Aaron.
And I'm Tim. We'll be diving deeply into what we've been through, how it changed us, and what we've learned.
We want to crush stigmas through sharing stories and open and vulnerable conversations.
These conversations could be triggering, so listen at your own discretion.
But please, reach out if we need to be doing something better. So, let's take a breath, relax, and be welcome.
A huge thank you to Highland Markle for the original music, as well as all the production assistants.
We couldn't have done it without you, brother. You could find him on the gram at HYLANDMARKLE for all your musical and mastering needs.
He plays a sweet sitar.
And I just got him the thumb piano. Kalimba, I think is what it's called. That was his wedding.
A kalimba?
That was his groomsman, one of his groomsman gifts.
Aww.
All of you got some pretty badass
that.
shit.
Yeah. It's sick, dude.
So, Tim, who have you brought on the podcast this week?
Well, Aaron, I'm really glad you asked that. I brought somebody pretty near and dear to my heart. In fact, she's part of my family. I would like everybody to welcome Kirsten, my sister-in-law.
Hello. Hi. This is so exciting.
Welcome, Kirsten. Welcome to No Streetlights.
Thank you. I have to say, you guys still give the supernatural vibes.
What a way to start.
I mean...
Yeah, she's just as big a fan of Supernatural as we are, Aaron, so...
Yeah, man.
Team Free Will.
Yeah, buddy.
I'm a Dean girl, 25'8".
I mean, I love both Sam and Dean, so I have two hands. They both hold it.
Dean girl.
Dean girl, Sam girl, they can both
Dean
hold
girl?
my hand.
Got that Dean girl in me, you know?
I just want Castiel around in my life just to
Oh, God.
be standing in the corner staring at nothing.
Yeah, I want him to have, like, those awkward social interactions with me, you know? I don't
Yep.
understand. Why do you light a candle in your house for no reason? It's for scent,
Bro,
Cass.
I literally just put out my candle.
Bro.
I didn't want anyone to hear the candle in the background, you know?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So, Kirsten,
Yes.
what are you about? What do you want to talk about today?
The difference between men and women for, everyday life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Why not?
Well, I definitely think there are quite a bit of differences between men and women in their everyday life. We could definitely discuss some stuff about that.
How, like, women have to, like, think about every aspect of their day, everything that they're doing, so as to not be breaking any of the rules.
Basically, there's like a non-spoken rule of like what we should do, what we should not do to be able to just live everyday life. I would have these conversations with people and they would still not get it.
One of the things that I always think about is I get to just do whatever I want. Like, somebody the other day was talking to me some type of way, and I said, "Hey, shut your face. You're not allowed to talk to me like that." Which is something that I think we can and should be doing more.
Yeah.
But that's because I'm a big, strong man who, I'm super qualified to kick the shit out of people. And people are going to believe me if I say that something transpired. I don't have to worry about having backup nearby, having proof. If I go to the doctor's office, they don't ask me if I've tried losing weight. They just believe my symptoms.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So there's a whole bunch of stuff that we don't think about that, that's privilege. It's shit that's not hard for us, but is hard for other people that we need to be aware of.
Yeah. There's definitely, and I've mentioned it now quite a few times, when we were young, we used to just walk around the streets. Like,
2 a.m.
Yeah, we didn't care what time it was. We had zero worries about being abducted or, people catcalling us from their cars. That's literally never happened to me. I did have a Coke bottle thrown at me once, but was I don't know what was up with that.
Oh my gosh.
It definitely wasn't because I was walking down the street wearing somewhat skimpy shorts or something. So.
Oh, come on, Tim. Tell us the truth. You were wearing a thong.
Yeah, I mean, I do wear those out in public, but, you know.
The G-string.
A lot of people wear thongs. They're supposedly really comfortable and really supportive.
Only thongs?
You do you.
Yeah, no, for women, like me, myself, you know, every time I go out, I have to think of every single detail. Am I wearing shorts that are too short? Am I showing too much shoulder, basically? Because, you know, in school, they're always like, oh, don't show your shoulders. And people go crazy. Yeah. And especially if the moment you step outside of the house, automatically you're in survival mode. Because you don't know who you're going to meet. You could just be walking down the street. Like, me and my friend, whenever we're out, we automatically have to see, like, okay, who could be potential danger? Okay, there's a man standing right there. Is he looking at us funny? Is he planning on following us? It's a whole thing. And especially at night, most of the time I do not go out at night because automatically I know something will happen. And especially at gas stations, oh my gosh, that's like one of the big places where we could get harassed.
Oh God.
Yeah, it was after work, peak rush hour in LA, and I was getting gas. It was still daylight. That's the thing. We have to make sure we're in the day and not at night. Yeah. So I was getting gas. I was just standing there, and then all of a sudden this man comes up and he goes, hey, I don't have money right now and I need help paying gas for my car. If you could just come with me to my car, that would be great. And I just said, sorry, no. And automatically I just had to like turn away, continue what I'm doing, but also like know what he looks like, what he's wearing. And then 5 seconds later, another guy comes up behind me going, don't be scared, I'm right behind you. And I'm like, what the frick, bro? And I turn around.
That's a terrifying way to start.
Yeah, that's not how you approach people.
That's not a soft entry, my guy.
He was very aggressive too. And then he just goes, I don't care about my wife right now. All I care about are my 2 dogs. I don't have money for gas, so if you could just come with me to my car. And I'm like, no, I'm not gonna do that. And quickly, I just didn't even care if I filled it up all the way. I just got in my car and drove off.
Yeah, I think that's a very fair reaction. I'm pretty sure I would have done the exact same thing, honestly.
And there were a lot of people there, too, at the gas station, because automatically we have to look around and be like, okay, who's willing to help us? And normally, no one does.
I think that's a big takeaway for us is, like, as a good human being, you should be looking out for people around you and intervening whenever something looks sketchy.
Yeah.
I know one of the biggest things that the military was pushing there for a while was the concept of bystander intervention, which in and of itself, it's a concept that I feel like all of us know about. It's just maybe we're not super cognizant of exactly what it is or what we're not, I guess, expected, but should do if we find ourselves witnessing something that doesn't seem right. Like, hey, if there's somebody trying to like take you over to their car or whatever, like I see this happening. Like okay, what's happening over here? You know, she was pumping gas and now she's walking over to this other guy's car. Yeah. You know, like there's definitely like certain things, like keep your eyes open. And if you see something that's wrong, say or do something to fix it.
Again, like, I think it's because people are scared that they could be reading a situation wrong. But even then, I think you should go up to somebody, because there was a moment in the gym where I thought something looked fishy. So I approached the girl when we were in the bathroom and I asked, and I read the situation wrong, but at least I went up to her and asked if she was okay.
Yeah.
I think that's the easy fix that people are missing is just saying, hey, do you feel safe? Like, is everything okay?
Like, you don't have to automatically go fight or flight mode. You could just come up to the person and be like, hey, is everything okay? And then that's when you could read the situation.
Aaron does usually like to punch people in the face first and ask questions later.
Same.
But, I mean,
no, I don't. I've grown.
I don't know.
I mean, same.
You're like a teddy bear, but you're made out of marble.
Oh my god.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
He's Lotso from Toy Story.
Bears are very cuddly, but they're also a little dangerous. So one of the big things that I heard in when you were talking about things that you're concerned about is just that the stakes are so much lower for us men.
Yeah.
Like, the worst thing that's going to happen to me or Tim is, like, maybe we'll get beat up.
Yeah.
And we've been beat up before. It's not that bad.
It's not that bad.
No, I've had worse.
Yeah. But as a woman, getting beat up might be the start of your problems.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Literally,
So,
it could be the start because, again, we could be raped on the spot. We could be kidnapped for human trafficking. It could be a whole thing. I mean, it does happen to men, obviously, but
yeah,
the stakes are high for women because, again, for example, I'm like 5'3", 5'4", depending on which hip I'm leaning on.
yeah.
And I'm small. I'm a petite little girl. So if they see me, they're like, oh, she's easy target. So normally when I'm walking down the street, I always have to make sure I have the meanest, most mugging face on. And I'm like, these people better not come near me or I swear. But on the inside, I'm like, please don't come to me.
That's like your defensive mechanism, though, is you want to make yourself appear unapproachable so people just doesn't bother you.
Yep. And even then, they still feel like it's an invitation.
Wow.
Yeah. Like, oh, this girl's it's hard to get, you know. Most guys aren't going to approach her because she mean mugging.
They love a challenge for no reason. And then, again, they always say, why don't you just say no? We do. Most of the time that ends up with us getting beaten up or killed.
Yeah, because, I mean, what are young boys taught? If she says no, keep trying.
Exactly. Yeah. And it's...
buy her flowers, do this, do that. But that's...
and then...
no.
With that, it also comes with, like, when they say, oh, if a guy's being mean to you, it's because he likes you.
Yeah.
That's what we were taught growing up. And I'm like, as I got older, I'm like, wait, that's not right.
No, that doesn't even make any sense.
If they're mean, they're mean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you know, I'm sure there's also a fine line for this as well, right? But kind of judging from what you're saying, like, if a guy were to approach you in, I suppose, a flirtatious manner or something, and you provide them with a no, if they go away, then that encounter was pretty okay, right?
Yes, I have had people come up to me one time, and when I told them no, luckily enough, they walked away. But at the same time, it was the most random spot, too. It was on the escalator.
What?
Oh, wow.
I was just going... I was getting ready to go home. I forgot why I was even there. I think I was getting something from Barnes & Noble or something. But I was just up the escalator, and the guy just goes, hey, do you know what time the Grove closes? And then me, like, going over my head, I'm like, yeah, man, it closed like at 7 p.m. today. And he's like, oh, okay, cool. Now that I have your attention, I'm like, oh, here we go. Here we go. Wow. And he's like,
wow.
So... now that we're talking, can I have your number? And I was like, oh no, sorry, I don't give my number to people I don't know. And luckily he said, okay, that's fine, and left. But I also at the same time had to make sure I got off the wrong floor so that he doesn't follow me. And then I go back on the escalator to go back to my car.
Again, that defensive mechanism, right? Because you have no idea what this man's reaction is going to be after you rejected him.
Yes, I just don't know why I had to be on the escalator.
Hey, you know, they tell people, like, you know, shoot your shot and everything, but I feel like there's better environments probably to, you know, shoot your shot.
I was like...
or maybe just, like, be aware of indicators of attraction. So, like, if they're making eye contact, if if they're moving closer to you. Then you can maybe approach them, say, hey, how are you? And if they're like, good, leave them alone. If they're like, oh, I'm good, how are you? There's your conversation.
That's the thing, people don't get it. I have so many stories, but like, I don't know if I could go all like back to back every time. I don't want to overwhelm you guys.
No, please share as much as you can.
Oh my gosh.
As much as you're wanting to.
I mean, I have a lot. Oh my gosh.
Look, you're our guest, right? Like, we're 100% ears are wide open.
But first of all, I want to say thank you for actually listening and actually taking the time to understand, because some people will say like, yeah, I'm going to listen, but they don't care. So I want to thank you guys for that.
Well, thanks for coming on. Actually, our first ever message after we dropped episode 1 was from a woman who said, I think something you guys need to talk about is vulnerable people and how much harder it is just to be a woman and how vulnerable we are. So, we're bringing you on to hear your side of the story. Like,
yeah.
And I hope people understand.
Tim and I might know a little bit about how hard it is because we've thought about it and asked people questions.
Yeah.
But most people haven't.
Yeah.
So please, talk to us about what's going on and how we can be better.
Please.
If anything, it's literally just, coming up and asking if we're okay. That's like the bare minimum. Like, you don't have to come in and automatically start fighting people because, again, the situation could be completely different. But yeah, I remember one time, normally when I go to get my car fixed, I usually go with my dad or my mom. Because I'm going to be honest, I am that girl who knows nothing about, cars. But,
Yeah.
I don't want to act like that so I don't get taken advantage of, I don't want to pay that much money. But anyway, on to the point. I went by myself because my parents couldn't come with me.
Yeah.
My brother couldn't come with me. And literally, the one time I go on my own, someone bothers me.
That's how it always works.
I was sitting, minding my own business on my phone, and then someone asked, like, hey, is a seat taken? And I'm like, no, like, go ahead, whatever. And I'm continue being on my phone, just minding my business. And then all of a sudden, this guy starts rambling next to me, but I'm still not paying attention. Because I'm like, I don't know what he's talking about. I'm just minding my business. And then a little cute corgi walks by with the owner. I'm like, oh my god, look at the puppy. And automatically he goes, if we had a puppy, what would you want to have?
Oh, wow.
And I was like, wait, what? And then all of a sudden he goes, if we were to have a baby together, what would you want to name it?
Whoa.
And I was just going, I was in shock. Like, that has not happened to me before. And I was just like, what the heck? And I'm looking around to see if anyone notices. And automatically, they're all men. They're all minding their business. And I was being loud about it too, being like, whoa, what? Dude, what do you mean? And I was just, my eyes automatically, I'm searching through the whole area. They're all men minding their business. And I'm like, okay. So this was kind of like one of the first times when this happened, so I clearly didn't know what to do or how to stand up for myself. So I just had to sit there for hours just being polite and making sure I don't say anything wrong, to the point I ended up having to hug the guy after.
Oh.
Ugh.
I was so uncomfy the whole time.
And if one person had asked if you were comfortable, you would have, like, given the panic eyes
I
and, like,
would have.
a tight nod or shake.
I would have.
I mean,
no, I'm not.
I even went to the bathroom and I was like, please don't be there. And then I go back and I'm like, he's still there. And then I go to the front and I'm like, hey, it's my car almost done. And they're like, we need another hour. And I'm like, oh my god.
Oh my god. And I feel like, I mean, I know you, and I kind of know, like, what your nervousness looks like or whenever you're anxious. So, I imagine when this person's talking to you, you're not looking, like, cool as a cucumber. You're over there probably, like, a little shifty and a little antsy.
Yeah.
it surprises me that nobody didn't see this and was like, oh, like there's something going on over here that's probably not okay. We should probably ask.
Yeah, you know me enough to know, like, I'm very physical when it comes to, like, how I'm feeling.
Yeah.
So you could see I was uncomfy, but there was no woman in sight to rely on. And it's kind of sad, too, because when these things happen, we know we can't trust other men to help us.
Yeah.
It's normally
and I feel
other
like
women.
I feel like a lot of other men, too, would possibly listen to a story like that and kind of trivialize it. Like, oh, well, what does it matter? Like, just listen to the man or just talk to him or whatever.
Yeah.
But I really just feel like a lot of people don't grasp how terrifying that is for you. You have no idea what this person is thinking.
Mm-mm.
When I interact with people that might possibly be violent in the nature of my job, I have to be ready to possibly fight them, right? I have no idea what they're thinking. And it's the same for you in that situation. You're approaching this and observing it as a possible life or death situation.
Yeah. That's everyday life for you.
Another thing that you have to, like, constantly thinking about is, like, is this person just fetishizing me because I'm a small Asian woman?
Yes. Oh my gosh. That's another thing.
So, yeah, am I actually being a good human being, or am I just fetishizing you?
So here's the thing. When it comes to women of color, we each get different fetishes for some reason. Like, Black women, they get, they're loud and angry, which is, oh my God. And then for Latinas out there, they're spicy, and then they want you to yell at them, or like guys want them to yell at you in Spanish for some reason. And I'm
Huh.
Yeah. And then Asians, man. Like, oh my God. If you get an Asian in bangs and pigtails, you're done for, okay?
Yeah.
And what grosses me out is the fact that if an Asian woman or any women have pigtails, braids, or bangs, they look young and pure, and that's what get guys off. That grosses me out.
That's really creepy, yeah.
Because
Yeah.
as a Filipino woman, I get the weirdos who are married to a Filipino woman going, oh, hey, you look like my wife. I'm like, all right. Okay, like, yeah, like, you really look like her. And it's just, okay. And it's not in a way being like, oh, hey, like, you kind of, like, innocent way. It's just, it's weird and predatory kind of how they do it.
Yeah, like, I could mistake you as my wife.
Yeah, and the thing is, these men usually marry a Filipino woman when they're very young. They're usually, like, an old man who's balding, and I'm like, no.
Hey, I went bald at 16, listen. Come on, man. I object to one part of your story. That doesn't mean the rest isn't valid.
I'm so sorry.
She said balding, and my eyes immediately went to you, Aaron. I was like, oh.
Yeah, bro. That was literally my best man speech for your wedding was like...
all bald men, yep.
Oh.
Yeah. I forgive you, Kirsten. I forgive you, man.
I'm so sorry.
We're all trying to learn here.
I'm just saying, like, what they usually look like, who are married to the young Filipinas, but... Oh my God, they're like in their...
My wife is Filipina and she's 5'2", bro. She's a powerful woman though, man.
But
so I ain't fetishizing nothing, man.
Yes.
She's the boss, I'll tell you that.
Like
she's also like
old.
covered in tats, so...
You're not 60, okay? That's a big thing. You're not 60 years old.
Yeah, I feel like it sometimes.
Oh
with your medical history,
yeah, I'm
you
only
could
a
be.
year older than her.
Oh my God, I'm sweaty. I'm so sorry.
Oh, that's funny. That was funny as shit. I like that. Instant friends.
That makes... That's gonna make the cut. Man. Okay.
Bro.
Oh my God, that's so good.
I'll take this L. I'll take it.
Yeah.
All right, what were you saying, Kirsten? Come on, go ahead, man.
Yeah,
your story.
Come on.
I got something in my eye, man.
Comedic relief.
I didn't know she had pocket sand.
We got the comedic relief. Let's go. Well, oh my gosh, yeah. No, normally they're...
Anyway, what were you saying?
Normally they're like, oh yeah, you kind of look like my wife. Or they goes, oh my gosh, I can't grammar. Okay. They usually go, oh yeah, I would love to marry a Filipina. Like,
yeah,
they're just so good at everything, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, I don't need to know this. I don't know who you are, so please just go away. I even had things at work where I would end up staying longer because one of the guys in charge would be like, oh yeah, I asked them for you to stay longer because I love Filipinos.
Oh. What?
Yeah.
That's literally grooming. That's using your position of authority to influence the people under you and make them uncomfortable.
That is not okay. Like, what?
I know.
Yeah, so if you're out there and you're doing that, don't.
Yeah, please.
If you see someone doing that, tell them to quit being a creep.
Literally.
Look, that's not flirting. That is literally like predatory behavior.
I was ready to go home.
And luckily in the military, they teach you all about that.
Yeah, that's very true.
But out here on the civilian world, people just out here wilding, man. I tell you.
Yeah.
I changed the work schedule so you and I could be working together.
Or I put us on post together so you're trapped with me for 4 hours in a box.
And I'm gonna ask you questions all about your private life.
And your boobs. Because to me, you're an object.
Yeah.
I can't. Oh, have you guys heard of the case of Aqua Tofana?
No.
No.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, definitely tell us about this.
So...
Is that a water brand? Aqua Tofana?
No. So...
Sounds like it.
It actually takes place...
A case of Aqua Tofana.
I'm thirsty as well.
It's Aquafina. No.
That terrible water.
So it's way back in like the 17th century where it takes place in Italy, you know, all fancy, right? And this lady named Giulia Tofana, she created this, allegedly created this perfume that's actually poison. She sold it to women because back in the day, if a woman was trapped in an abusive relationship, she can't divorce. Because if you divorce a man back in the day, then what's your worth? A woman can't be without a man in like the 17th century, you know? And I'm pretty sure this was during like the witch trials and everything too, but I could be wrong. But anyway, she created this poison, but had it as a perfume bottle and sold it to women who are trying to get out of an abusive marriage. It's wild. And she got away with it for a little bit.
I think I've seen that in my real life.
What do you mean?
No, for real. The last guy I worked for, or my last chief in the military, he said his like first wife was trying to poison him with iron. She was like adding a ton of iron into his diet. So like he started just like slowly dying, and he was like, he had lost a bunch of weight. And he went to the hospital, and they were like, dude, your iron levels are off the charts. Like, your wife's trying to kill you.
Oh, my God.
Wow.
And then they got divorced. But he was a hard man to get along with, so she may have needed a bottle of perfume instead of some iron.
She was...
Yeah.
I don't know. I wasn't
she
there.
needed Aqua Tofana.
No, yeah. No.
But that's a legit tactic for women who need help.
Yeah, sometimes if they're trapped in an abusive relationship, they have to be... stealthy about it, because what they would do, it looks like a perfume bottle, but on the inside it's actual poison, so they would put it in their food or drink, and then they would die, but the women wouldn't be looked down upon because they didn't leave the man, they didn't divorce, so they're just widowed.
Yeah.
That
was just old slut shaming.
Old slut shaming.
You've been married before?
Wow.
And you're not with him your whole life? Before we get onto that subject, I just wanted to look. I pulled up World Health Organization's website, and this says that globally, about 1 in 3 women have been subjected to either physical or sexual intimate partner violence or non-partner sexual violence in their lifetime. 1 in 3 women.
Yeah.
And those are the ones who are comfortable saying that they have been.
Oh my God.
That's insane.
Yeah.
That's such a high statistic.
I think we need to start bringing back that perfume.
Yeah, because Wait.
That's a business idea for you, sister?
Business idea? Just start selling poison.
Make the perfume.
And that's how she wound up in prison.
What do you mean? It's probably in the works right now.
As an aesthetic for legal reasons.
Of course, yeah. Look, this is
for legal reasons. Yeah.
Yeah. There's a disclaimer on the bottom of the bottle written in very small text that says not to ingest.
Yeah. Are you not reading the label?
All perfume says that.
Yeah. All perfume.
Yeah, like check all the labels. I didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah. Honestly, though, Aaron, that statistic is absolutely horrifying, though. 1 in 3.
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
And the thing is, women don't really come out to say anything because they're terrified that they could get killed. Or not believed and then still be trapped in that situation. And then end up killed anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, what people don't get is that majority of, like, abuse and stuff come from people you know.
Yeah, it's non-stranger violence is what we called it in all of our trainings.
Yeah.
It's never a stranger. It's someone you know
stranger.
Who's been fetishizing you or held on to some kind of resentment, or one time you were nice to them, so now they've fantasized about you endlessly.
That's the thing. Sometimes as a female, it's hard to make friends that are guys because we're just genuinely looking for a friend. But the guys will be like, oh, okay, now that I'm in her life, there could be something. And then once they get rejected, they're all like, oh my gosh, she's this, she's that, she put me in the friend zone, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, no, that's not the case. It's not about you or your ego. Like, we were just looking for a friend, which I'm grateful that I was able to find really great guy friends around me who are genuinely my friend.
Good.
Honestly, they're the reason why I have trust issues. Yeah.
Can we go back for just a second and talk about the friend zone thing?
Yeah.
That is something
I hate that word.
I do too.
Yeah, I remember how big it was, right? And like now it's this concept that so many males and men are like using, like, oh, she put me in the friend zone, man. Like, I shot my shot, she put me in the friend zone. And it's like, no, like it's such a, I don't know. I hate it.
I absolutely hate it.
I think the solution is just honesty. Like, it's because so many guys are pretending to be nice guys when really they're trying to get something from you, be it your body or favors or whatever.
Yeah. It feels sleazy.
And I've been in the position before where a woman wanted to be my friend and I wanted an intimate relationship with her.
Yeah.
So she was like, oh, thanks, buddy. And I was like, listen, I'm not your buddy. I want to be your husband.
Oh, my.
So if you're not with that, like, we need to move on because I'm not interested in being your friend. I want to be your partner. And that just gave her the opportunity to say, I don't think that you're going to be my future husband. And I said, all right, well, reach out if you need anything, but I don't want to be your friend.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Honestly, like, it's fine as long as people could take the no. That's like the main important thing. Because if you can't take
definitely,
and ask your friends if they're okay, ask strangers if they're okay. Hey, do you feel safe?
Yeah, because they always say no, but that's never enough.
Right.
Never enough.
Yeah, because you said no, but if I'm your friend for a couple years and I'm really nice to you, maybe one day you'll come out of the shower without a towel on.
Like, no.
You shouldn't. That's not. You should invest in people because you know they're going to give back to the world at large, not because you're going to get something back.
No.
Right.
No, that's a business transaction. And you should be upfront about it. It's
not a friendship at that point. Because here you are thinking this girl's thinking that, oh yeah, we're best of friends, like, he respects me, all this stuff.
He's here whenever I need him.
But then they come like, so I need to tell you something. It's like, oh no, not this.
Yep.
I mean,
yeah.
I had a friend in school who ended up having feelings for me but I didn't have feelings back. But luckily for me, he was really sweet about it and didn't try any further, and we were still friends. And then I think we still would leave comments here and there whenever, but we're still good friends.
That's good.
So I get lucky sometimes.
I think, and luckily, I think that is like the silent majority. I think most people, when you're open and honest, they're going to respect you because most people want to be respected.
Yeah.
Right.
But even if 1 in 10 guys is a creep, how many men are in your life?
Yeah.
If you have 50 men in your life, there are 5 creeps. So you're constantly on high alert.
Yep.
I do think, and I want to make this very clear as well. Like the concept of the friend zone and everything, that was something that I did believe in when I was younger. Right. I had to mentally mature to understand that that's not a thing. Being open, honest, talking about it with the person that I'm interested in, and taking either that yes or that no, and then moving past that. Making sure the lines are very clear. Hey, I am here to be your friend, or hey, I am here to attempt to be your partner.
Yes.
Again, mentally maturing, it took me it took me some time to understand that and exactly how to approach like handling relationships such as, a relationship or a friendship.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we were just raised and taught that these were the social norms.
Yeah.
If you do something for a woman, she should reciprocate.
Yeah. Right.
But now that we've learned as grown-ass adults, that's not how this shit works.
No, not at all.
If I'm being nice to someone, it should be because I want to be nice, not because I expect something in return.
Yeah.
And there have been so many times where this is just me personally, and I can be open and vulnerable about this because men don't get slut-shamed as much as women. So you should probably be listening to that too. But I was always very open and found great success. Whenever I would see an attractive woman, I'd be like, hey, what's up? Like, are you about it? And they'd check me out, see my energy, hang out with me for a little while, and they'd be like, yup. Be like, all right, cool, let's go. And that's the benefit of being honest, is you don't have to worry about subterfuge.
Yeah.
And so if you're just trying to hook up, like, just let people know what's up.
Yeah.
And if you just want to see someone naked, hey, man, and, like, if they're your boy and they don't give a shit, like, I've had friends be like, yeah, if you just want to see my boobs, that's no big problem. There you go, what's up? They're just tits, dude. And if all you want to do is see boobs, there's the fucking internet right there, bud.
Yeah.
You don't have to manipulate a living human being.
No.
No, they're always like, hey, send nudes. And they're like, no. And then they're like, oh, prude.
Yeah, prude.
Oh my god.
The unsolicited genitalia photos. Like, come on.
I'm a good guy. Send me nudes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Great guy.
Sorry, I had beer last night. I wasn't thinking straight. I'm so sorry.
That's the thing.
We're still friends, right?
That what brings up, like, quote unquote good guys when they're always like, oh, you're never into the good guys, are you? It's like, no. I am into the good guys.
That's as big a red flag as, like, the alpha male thing.
Oh my gosh, the freaking alpha male.
Or, like, I'm a nice guy. Those are both red flag energy out the wazoo, man.
Because
chill out with that
they
shit,
always
bro.
say, like, oh, she never goes for the nice guys. Oh, you just don't like the good guys. If you have to say that you're a good guy, you're not a good guy.
No. You're giving off some kind of flags, my guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I know earlier you about had an aneurysm whenever I brought up slut shaming. So do you want to talk about this for a second?
Okay. So
unless you're actually about to have an aneurysm, though, please don't.
Yeah, please don't do that. I'll be right back. Tim, you know the numbers, right? Oh yeah, that was in the intro.
Yeah. 911 or 980. 911, I think. 119? Oh my god.
119.
But yeah.
Slut shaming. Oh my gosh. That's the thing where I have two things to say. I have my own story and just the whole, what's it called? Body count thing. that I keep hearing every time. Like,
yeah.
Oh my gosh. When it comes to body counts, men are praised for having the highest number, which I think is gross because I just need to make sure, are you clean?
Right.
Are you spreading some things? Like,
yeah.
That's a big number, bro. And then for women, we're expected to have less than 2, basically. And
zero partners before, right?
Yeah, which I find is so gross. For me personally, like, if you people want to be a hoe, be a hoe. Like, live your best hoe life. Like, do your thing. That's your prerogative.
Right.
But
yeah, absolutely.
If you're gonna shame people for doing something that you're doing, what's wrong with you?
Yeah, and I find it interesting, right? Because I've heard that conversation from other guys before.
Yeah.
And they'll be like, yo, bro, like, you got her last night? Like, you know, they do the high five thing.
Yeah.
And they're like, yo, man, that makes like number 20, 23, whatever. And it's like, ugh. Like,
it's just gross.
Okay, right. Again, right? Like, if that is what somebody wants to do, if they want to have multiple sexual partners and they're safe about it and it's consensual, that's okay, right? That's fine. But like you said, right? Like be safe about it, right?
Be clean.
Get yourself frequently checked if you're doing that. But also, don't expect every woman you sleep with to have to be a virgin. That's not fair. It's not okay. So, I do agree though, right? Like the slut shaming part too, because, and you hear that as well, like, oh, women, they aren't allowed to sleep with that many people, but guys, like you said, they're praised for it.
Which is stupid because at the end of the day, they're both doing the same thing.
One thing that always bothers me about the whole like slut shaming dichotomy is every guy wants a holy virgin who's never slept with anyone else, but also has tons of experience and knows exactly what they're doing.
Oh, yeah. Because those come so frequently, right?
If people want to be a hoe, be a hoe. If you don't want to be a hoe, then don't be a hoe. But if you're going to be a hoe, be a clean hoe. Okay?
You don't just know what to do your first time,
I know I didn't.
Nope.
And some things are terrifying. Yeah, man. So, I think, man, we just gotta, like, Yeah.
And
do what you want to do, but do it responsibly.
And most importantly, be respectful of other people's decisions. How hard is it to just be like, hey, that person's living the life they want to live?
That puts me in my own story. You guys ready?
Go ahead.
Yeah.
I, pretty much every guy's dream. I'm a virgin, so, basically this story is outing me, but whatever, I don't care. I am basically every guy's dream, a virgin. So.
There are worse things. Trust me, I wish I would have waited.
So.
At least longer.
I was just hanging out. We're at work and everything. And this girl is like looking at a ring on my hand. And she's like, oh my God, what is that? And I'm like, oh, it's a purity ring. Like, she's like, oh my God, so you're waiting for somebody and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, yeah, it's just like me. Like, it's my choice. Like, if I feel ready, I'm ready. But like, whatever. Like, I just might as well have a jewelry about it. And then all these other guys in front of us, like, they were walking ahead of us, and they turn around going, like, hey, what'd you say? And I'm like, nothing, just, like, my purity ring and stuff. And like, oh, okay. And, like, minded their business. And I'm like, thank you. Except one freaking dude turns around and goes, really? And I'm like, yeah. Got a problem? And he's like, really? Like giving me the look, being like, you sure about that? And I'm like, you got a problem there? And
the Tim Robinson, you sure about that?
And automatically, this guy just goes, I feel sorry for you. And I'm like, why? This is my choice. What does it matter? And he's like, yeah, okay, sure. And I was like, what the frick?
Yeah. So here's the thing, is people think that if someone else is living a different life, that they're missing out on something that you enjoy. But we're all doing our best, so maybe don't project like that. Just because the only thing you care about is sex doesn't mean there's not more going on in this person's life.
And funny thing is, one of my friends actually warned me about this guy too. He's like, oh, do you know who this guy is? I'm like, no, I don't. And he says, okay, watch out, because he's not a good guy. And I'm like, explains it.
Yeah. And I find a lot of times people say like, hey, you should be doing this or that.
Yeah.
Don't just tell people what they should be doing. Tell them why. Because I've got my father staying with us for his treatments and stuff. Mm-hmm. And he keeps telling me what I need to be doing. And I'm like, Dad, I'm busy. Like, I'm working on this podcast. I'm writing the description. Like, we'll take care of that. But if you see a job that needs done, do it. Or, like, put it on a list and I'll take care of it when I can.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, that was too much about me, I guess.
No, you're
That's
fine.
What were we talking about?
We're all listening to each other. Do you want to talk about it?
Sorry. I'm gonna have this conversation with my dad soon. It's fine. Sorry, Dad. I know you're listening to this. I'm sorry. I love you. Yeah.
Blink twice. Are you okay, Aaron?
Ow. Can you guys see my eyes well enough?
Oh,
he's blinking. We
your
gotta
eyes
go.
are so pretty. You should smile more.
Oh my God. I remember vividly the last time I heard that.
Oh,
yep.
That makes me want
Bringing
to
that
I think I told that story. Ugh.
Yeah, you did. You did tell that story.
What story?
Yeah, because you're a girl, or you're a woman, you need to be smiling more. Okay, you have to look approachable.
Oh,
You're
my
here for me.
God.
Yeah,
Literally.
you're the object, and I'm, the master here. Okay.
When I went to Vegas to watch BTS with my friend, we spent the day just like getting snacks and everything. And while we're walking by down the strip, we saw these cool motorbikes. We're like, oh my gosh, those look so cool. Like, we want to see, like, because they do it like for a tourist thing. And she asked, like, hey, could we have a pamphlet? And the guy goes, only if you say please. And I'm like, what? Dude. And we're both like, and I'm just like, throw the pamphlet away. We're not going.
Yeah. Nope.
Yeah.
Never.
You just lost yourself a customer, pal.
Yeah. Suck, guy.
Because we're cute little girls just walking along. They think, yeah, they're easy prey. I mean, one of the guys, like literally seconds after that, this guy whispers in my friend's ear going, I like the purple. And she was wearing a purple top.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and I was like, he said what? And I was like trying to look in the crowd. I'm like, I'm gonna fight. Who is this?
Guys, you should be thinking about not being a creep at least some of the time.
Yeah,
some
like,
of the time,
come on.
all of the time.
I'm just asking for the bare minimum, just once in a while.
Yeah, it's
is what I'm doing creepy.
please.
Like, he literally whispers in her ear, going, I like the purple. It was so gross. It was really gross.
Had he brushed his teeth? Was it?
I don't know. It's Vegas. Who knows?
Wow.
Oh God, yeah.
Yeah.
Did he even have teeth?
Literally before that, we just walked out of our hotel, and this random guy was hiding behind a staircase or whatever, and he goes, hey you! And both of us immediately were like, oh, this is dangerous, and we started running. And he was just going, come back here, like chasing after us until we got into the crowd, and we're like, oh my gosh. And then
oh, dude.
It's the whole thing.
Oh, no. So, that reminds me of a story.
Mm-hmm.
My wife posted on Facebook maybe 2 weeks ago. And it was, every woman has a terrifying story about a man.
Yeah.
Every woman you know. And some guy, of course, went on there and shouted, "All lives matter." It's like, no, women are bad too. And we were like, dude, you're missing the point.
That's the dumbest. That's like when a woman starts explaining about her own sexual assault story, automatically a guy will be like, well, men get raped too. And we're like, yeah, we know it happens. But right now we're not talking about that. We're talking about something else. We're not saying that you don't. We're talking about this current situation.
Yeah.
I think those are people who aren't willing to admit that they were wrong. Because I know I was wrong earlier. Mm-hmm. I thought I was entitled to, as we said earlier, reciprocity. If I do something for you, you do something for me.
Right.
But I learned that's not the way.
No.
Yeah. No, not at all.
So...
No.
If you're not willing to admit you were wrong and learn from it and grow, you need to hop in the trash, bud.
And the thing is, whenever, they talk about men getting assaulted, it's women who's being there for him, while other men are like, oh, dude, why are you complaining? You got with this girl and all this stuff. She was easy.
Yeah, no, it was still exploitative or whatever.
Which makes no sense. I'm like, yo, if you care so much about men getting assaulted, then why aren't you saying anything about it? Only when we're talking about women.
I think this might be that echo chamber thing that you get into with old people in politics. Mm-hmm. One of my uncles, he commented about how a politician who has allegedly broken a lot of laws is getting prosecuted for what they said, and people just have hurt feelings because they said what they thought. And I was like, they literally have this individual on tape saying that he's doing the things that they're charging them with right now. No one cares what they said that may have been unprofessional. Well, we do, because we think, the office of the president is something that you should maybe treat with a modicum of respect and class.
Yeah.
But I literally sent him the video of the politician on tape saying themselves that what they were doing was illegal.
Yeah.
And they said, oh, I've never seen that.
That's their excuse for everything.
So it's the same thing. It's, hey, I feel uncomfortable when men do this. Mm-hmm. And they're saying, oh, so I'm an asshole now. Oh, so fuck me.
Yeah.
So, dude, learn how to fucking listen.
But then if a man gets assaulted, automatically they're like, oh, dude, you're just being a big baby about it. You got some. So
didn't you fight them off?
Aren't you bigger than her? No. And it's women who are like, hey, we're here to support you.
Yeah. Do you need to talk? Do you need a glass of water?
This reminds me of this is kind of just what popped into my head here, but I see the videos of some of the K-pop stars, right? Because my wife is really big into K-pop, and I watch a lot of music videos and stuff with her, right? Yeah, Blackpink. But there's a couple K-pop artists that there's clips of them sidestepping away from men and stuff. Mm-hmm. And the video is always titled "So and So hates men. Here's the proof."
Yes.
And it's no, all she's doing is sidestepping away from him. First of all, as a K-pop artist, they are, they're called K-pop idols, right? They're in the public eye. They probably have to deal with being fetishized so much. The amount of creepy, predatory behavior that probably befalls on these poor women and men as well, right?
Yeah.
But I never see the videos of male K-pop artists obviously hates women because he's sidestepping away from them, right? Or he's trying to avoid being talked about. But it's always the women being recorded and they're sidestepping away from a much larger male who's usually a bodyguard or paparazzi or something. And it's oh, she must hate men because she doesn't want to interact with them. And I'm like, if I was a K-pop artist and I was wearing the outfits that they have to wear and people are constantly trying to get underneath to take pictures of underneath their skirts and stuff, which thank God there are the people who design their outfits and stuff, create very specific outfits to make sure no outfit malfunctions occur. So, they're usually protected. It's the fact that somebody is trying and they're being that intrusive. It's disgusting, right?
Yeah.
And of course, they just have to hate men because they don't want to be a part or they don't want to be close to somebody who might be like invading their personal space.
And also, like, there's a thing in Korean culture that they're really not allowed to, like, be close or touch a person they don't know.
Yeah.
So, if anything, it's just out of respect, too. So, people are just constantly doing that.
People are focusing on the wrong side of the video. They should be focused on the person who is invading someone's space, panting, making them uncomfortable. That'd be like saying you're in a crosswalk and you see some silly head driving down the road at you and you jump out of the way and someone's like, "Look at this guy, he hates cars." That's the dumbest shit I've ever heard.
This guy fucking hates cars, man. What's wrong with
This
him?
guy hates cars.
God.
It's victim blaming.
Oh, I fucking love cars, man.
Figure your
He's
shit out.
discriminating the Honda.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the matter, man? You don't like
Oh,
Fords?
you're telling me you've never been in a car? You hate cars?
You hate cars that much,
Like,
right?
no, I'm totally fine with being in a car. I like driving fast sometimes.
I bet you don't even know how to
But I
drive
don't
a car
like when
right.
people hit me with their cars.
Yeah,
Jesus
when you were
Christ.
talking about K-pop outfits, literally, that's what we have to think about too. Because again,
Yeah.
if we want to feel pretty, sometimes we want to wear a skirt or a dress, but automatically we know someone's gonna try something.
Sorry, let me get back to my mic. I actually have a story, right, of so I was stationed on a ship. I've only mentioned it a million times. I'm sure very many people already know this, all right. But in case they don't know, I was stationed on a ship. And guess what?
In the Navy?
Oh, yeah, dude.
You're in the Navy?
I'm in the Navy, guys.
Anyway, so you were on a boat once.
I was on a boat once, right?
Tell me more.
So I was on a boat. So we have men and women who live on the ship, right? And we're pulling out to sea. So there's a lot of men and women living on that ship. Mm-hmm. There was a female who, she was in her workspace, right? Her safe place, kind of, right? Like, because you assume your coworkers are going to be respectful and everything to you.
Yeah.
Or if you're being a professional, you shouldn't be subject to harassment.
Correct, right? She's in her
Let people do their job.
She's in her workspace and she's on duty, so she goes to shower in her workspace. Come to find out, one of her coworkers was recording her shower.
Ew.
Yeah. A person she worked alongside was videotaping this poor woman taking a shower.
Oh my god.
And here's the thing that nobody who heard that disbelieved it.
Nope.
That's fucked up. We need to change that.
Yeah.
That should not be something that's just like, oh, well, yeah, that happens.
No.
Yeah. No. It's not okay.
Oh,
she's in a place where she felt like, one, she was safe, surrounded by people she thought she was safe, and this still happened to her. And that is horrendous,
And that's one thing all these nice guys need to learn.
Yes.
If you're claiming to be a nice guy, if you have that power, if you are a good human being, you need to be responsible for those around you. If a woman in your life is wearing a dress, and you talk about chivalry all the time, if she goes up the stairs, you follow her. If she's about to come down the stairs, you get in front of her. That's an old chivalry rule that nobody does anymore, except for me and like 10 other people. But if my wife's wearing a dress, I invite her up the stairs and I follow her. If we're approaching stairs that I didn't see and we're about to descend, I say, "Oh, excuse me, baby." And, I step in front of her, I walk down the stairs. And that's because people are perverts. Whenever we're at the store and stuff, my wife doesn't like wearing a bra. Tim doesn't like wearing a ballistic vest. They're uncomfortable.
Yeah. Yes.
So when we're at the store and she's not wearing a bra, I'm walking like 3 feet behind her, scowling and scanning. Because every time, I shit you not, every time she's at the store without me, something creepy happens. The first time that she brought it up to me, it was about feet. God damn.
Feet?
Feet.
Why is it always the feet, guys?
Oh my god.
Feet?
feet, guys, get your shit together.
Maybe it's because there's not enough content
he was like,
online.
You got pretty feet, girl.
Oh my god.
And she's a small Asian woman, so of course it's some creepy fucking... Yeah, so look out for that. Don't be that fucking guy.
Yeah. There's something that we wrote down whenever we were discussing a little bit about this, and it's just as simple as care about the women around you, okay? Whether it's my sister-in-law, whether it's my wife, whether it's one of my coworkers, or whether it's just simply a woman who is at the grocery store and she's in the general vicinity of me. If something is going on that doesn't seem right, there is absolutely no reason for you to be like, hey, are you okay? In, a nice way, ask, are you okay? Do you feel safe? If the answer to that is yes, carry on, right? You don't have to be there. You don't have to be intrusive. Okay, cool. If she says something along the lines of, what do you mean? Oh, I just noticed that there was a person over there. It looked like they were taking photos of you. Do you know them? So on and so forth, right? Again, right? Inform her, and then she might be like, oh, yeah, I know them. That's my husband, whatever.
Yeah.
Cool, fine, right? Carry on. If she says no, get her some help. Help her, right? It is your right as a decent citizen, as a decent person, to help out the people around you. And I know we're emphasizing on women right now because, as you've said, Kirsten, right? Women, they have to go out every single day worrying and constantly planning how they're going to be able to avoid situations that they may find themselves in with a strange man. Things like that, right? Just care about the women around you and be a good person, be a good citizen.
And I just pulled up the FBI statistics on hate crimes, and it's saying that, I'm going to simplify the numbers just because that's who I am. About 65% of hate crimes is based on someone's race or ethnicity. 15% sexual orientation, 13% religion. Gender identity is 3.6%, and then it, depreciates from there. But we're saying if 1 in 3 women experiences like harassment or violence, that was one of the smallest categories that the FBI is reporting for hate crimes. Mm-hmm. Of course, it might not be classified as a hate crime because of whatever.
Right.
But, the problem with violence is it's staggering. It's insane.
Yeah.
Every woman we know has story of creeps.
Oh.
Every woman we know. We talked about 1 in 4 kids growing up in a fatherless home.
Yes.
And that was 1 in 3 women experiences intimate partner violence.
Yep.
How are people not looking for this shit?
Yeah.
Because the world hates women.
Oh yeah, and J.K. Rowling is a TERF, so all feminists must be awful.
Who's J.K. Rowling? We don't talk about her.
Oh, fair.
Who's she?
Yeah.
Who?
Just so you guys know, every movement has their far right and far left.
Yep.
Most of us are the silent majority.
Yeah.
We're in the middle. We're reasonable like you.
Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Oh, and definitely one other piece of information, just to throw some more names out there. Why not, right? Andrew Tate is a gigantic piece of garbage.
Oh, God.
Homeboy human traffics, okay?
Yeah, I don't watch any of his content, right? But I did watch a comedian who reacted to some of his content. This man, Andrew Tate, and the problem with it is, right, there's young men who are almost essentially idolizing this guy, right? And he is saying some of the worst things. Like, he was talking about how, what was it? Something along the lines... Well, it was something along the lines of women are here to give birth to children, right? Ooh. That was his main concept. And what he said, right, was my grandmother was surrounded by 17 of her grandkids and children and stuff like that. And he was and that brought so much joy to me because she did what she was supposed to, and she was having children. And it's just dude, in 2023, right? Financially, having a child is incredibly expensive, right? Healthcare,
and the world's going to shit. Nobody wants to reproduce.
Look, I mean, our economy is not doing so great. There's awful things that's happening here. How are you going to be saying women who don't want to bear children are terrible? They're not real women. What?
That's
wrong
literally.
with you, man?
I got fixed. Am I a terrible man? Am I not a man because I have been snipped?
Oh, you would 100%.
Please
100%.
come at me.
100%. He would definitely claim you as not a man.
That is so gross.
Okay, since we're in the name dropping segment, Crime Junkies just had their most recent episode where they talked about how minor marriage, marrying somebody under the age of 18 being legal.
Oh my God.
Is legal in like 48 states.
48?
Some form. Like in West Virginia, if you have parental consent, you can marry as soon as like 15.
Yes.
Ew.
But what if that's a 15-year-old Filipino woman who's been sexualized by a 60-year-old white man who's paying for this child bride? That's fucked.
And that's normally what happens.
We should look at that. Exactly. That's human trafficking. So, like, maybe we should take a look at this. Maybe we should talk to our senators.
No, dude, and I remember there was another thing too that was really big that people were talking about, the Romeo and Juliet law. Do you know what I'm referring to here?
No.
You guys haven't heard about this before?
No.
Okay, so there's this concept, right? If you are, let's say you're a 17-year-old male and you're dating I don't know the exact age involved here, but let's say it's a 15-year-old female, right? Mm-hmm. You know, technically speaking, there's no legality issues with that, right? They're both minors and everything. But then when the male turns 18, now he's dating a minor. So the Romeo and Juliet law is supposed to take that into consideration. They had a relationship prior to the male becoming of age. So now their relationship is still considered legal and valid. It's not considered whatever. So now
I wonder.
Now you have an 18-year-old male dating a 15-year-old woman or child. Sorry.
I wonder what people think the appropriate age gap is at that young age, and at what point does it not matter anymore?
Yeah.
Is it okay for an 18-year-old to be with a 15-year-old?
Mm-hmm. Probably not.
16? 17? That's probably okay.
Yeah. They're probably in
class
class
it's still
together.
creepy if a 20, let's just for shits and gigs, not a reference to any known celebrity or anything. Let's say a man in his 40s only wants to be with a woman, you know, in her early 20s. That's a little creepy. That's a little predatory.
Yeah.
So if the age gap is like a power dynamic thing, maybe you should look at that.
Yeah.
Maybe you should
maybe that's a
think
problem.
about that. Maybe that's weird.
Yeah.
I haven't talked to anybody, so I don't know if they have a reasonable reason for that. But I'm just saying, in my own experience, when a much older man is with a much younger woman, it's normally not healthy.
I've seen a lot of conversation
about
like on
celebrity.
Reddit, right? Reddit, the cesspool of the internet, or one of the biggest cesspools of the internet. But there is that's a good one too, right? But oh yeah. 27-year-old dating how old was she? They
they were 17 to 18 and then they were like in their
She's mature for her age,
20,
okay?
Alexa, play 29 by Demi Lovato.
Yeah. 29 and 17, that's right.
Yep.
But yeah, so there was a lot of talk, and I saw people discussing this on the internet. And to me, it makes sense, right? It's like when it comes to like the reasonable age gap for relationships, you need to take into consideration emotional maturity, right?
Yes.
So just because a woman at the age of 18 is, you know, quote unquote, of legal age, what is her emotional and mental maturity at that age, right? When I was 18, I thought I was still a 12-year-old, you know? I was still watching. I just turned 30. I still watch Scooby-Doo, right? But that's neither here nor there.
Great.
I love Scooby-Doo. I love Scooby-Doo. But anyway, because there was some questions like, I'm a 36-year-old male, and I'm interested in this 18-year-old female. And the comments were always along the lines of like, what on earth can you two possibly have in common? Seriously, think about it, right? Mm-hmm. You're 36. You probably have a 401k started. You're probably either looking at purchasing a house. You have purchased a house. You've been a part of your career now for a couple years. You know, you have lived over 3 decades on this planet, and you are interested in somebody who hasn't even hit 2 decades. This woman at the age of 18 is either still in high school or looking to graduate high school soon, right? Or just graduated. And it's like, they haven't even seen the real world, really.
That's the thing where I would hear so many stories, and it's always an older man telling the younger girl, being like, "Oh, you're so mature for your age."
Yeah.
And that's supposed to be like a quote unquote compliment when really it's just like predatory behavior.
Yeah.
But
that's why
also I think it is important that we look at like each instance and the cultural norm. Go ahead, sorry, Kirsten.
No, you're
I'll
fine.
make this point after you.
No, I was just saying how like that's how today and even before, little girls are being sexualized.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So much more.
Dude.
And
all these pageant shows creep me out.
Dude,
oh my god. How are they doing this?
What the
it's just like they started what people don't realize, they start sexualizing girls with even just a dress code at schools. Because one time at school, I think I was in middle school, hot summer day, heat wave. This girl was wearing shorts. They're not even that short. And there's a guy next to her. He's wearing a shirt with a naked woman on it, holding a gun. And guess who gets dress coded? Yep. And again, back in the day, I don't know how dress codes are now, but girls were not allowed to wear like leggings as pants because it showed too much form of their body. And I'm like, why are we sexualizing little girls when they're just clothes?
And if your boys are getting that distracted and you haven't taught them not to objectify women, send them to a private all-male institution.
And even then, if the teacher's the one who's like bothered by it, I'm like, I think we should check you.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Yeah, because, oh my gosh, at my old middle school, one of the gym teachers got arrested because he was lurking in the the little girl's locker room. So that's what they always say, like, hey, it's what you wear. Well, these little girls don't ask to be assaulted. It's literally not what you wear. It's how you control yourself.
Yeah. Exactly. If your dog bites someone, you don't blame the person who got bit.
Mm-mm.
It's always the offender's fault.
Yep.
You
shouldn't have been wearing your skin that day. You were looking too biteable.
Yeah.
Yeah, me and my friend.
Well, were you walking in like a tone that invited the dog to come bite you?
Did you have a look on your face that
Stupid.
The dog was like, oh, this person wants to get bit?
Did you say no? Did you like it?
Oh, you didn't cry when you got bit? Okay, yeah, no. Then it's, it's your fault. You should have cried.
Oh my gosh, me and my friend, we were in New York, and we were gonna do something fancy. It's my birthday, and she was wearing her little dress and tights, She looked cute. She looked bomb. She always looks bomb. And this guy on the train goes, oh, I like the tights. So automatically my head goes like, oh no, he's probably going to say something. And I'm like standing at the subway doors. I'm like, open, open, open. And my friend just being polite. She's like, oh, thank you. And then we're just like trying to get out already. And all of a sudden he goes, those tights are sexy. And we're like, ugh. And I had to pull her arm and drag her away. It was just so gross. And then we were walking down the street, and these two guys in their cars started whistling because she's wearing a skirt.
The cat calling.
Yep. Yeah. And I had an umbrella with me. And so I started swinging it around and like threatening them with it. And she's like, oh my God, they're going to come and kill us if you try anything. I'm like, I dare them. I'm like, my whole thing, like I'm just swinging the umbrella, looking at them like a crazy person. I'm like, come at me. I dare you.
Yeah.
Like,
it's that protection.
I've been through these situations so many times now that my motto is the crazier you look, the more they're going to leave you alone. Which is sad, but
Unfortunately,
true.
Yeah.
Yeah, so every time.
It's a very valid survival tactic.
Honestly, yeah.
I was just like, because we're small too, so like automatically they assume like, oh, they're easy.
Yeah. Easy targets.
Yeah, all the time, easy targets.
So, I I've got to head off here soon, guys. I've got to go pick up a mirror for my wife. Otherwise, she'll divorce me.
Oh my God.
It took me 2 years to get a mirror in my house, Aaron. I understand the struggle, man.
Yeah, she found a very nice mirror that we're putting in the hallway after Dad and I fixed
Oh, what does it look like?
thing that she wants different. It's a big gold mirror.
Ooh, fancy.
Oh, nice.
That's fancy.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, hey.
Well, it's got gold frame. It's just a nice big fucking mirror.
Wow, that looks...
I know what I look like. She wants a mirror. It's so easy for me to go get a mirror.
Yeah.
So I'm going to do that.
Well, honestly, I feel like I've been saying this a lot, right? But we've only really just scratched the surface of this particular topic.
Yeah.
And Kirsten, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on here. And I feel like there's more that you could provide or more that you could talk about. And there's so much to dive into with this topic. So hopefully, you'll want to come back and sit down and talk with us again. And, we can all chit chat.
I am happy to come back and talk about this more because I could go on.
It has been a pleasure to have you on.
Yeah,
thank you for having me.
Thank
and thank you for listening.
So,
oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Thank you for listening.
And we will have you back.
Yeah.
Oh my God, yay.
We're not going to stop having guests.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, yay. We could talk about Supernatural.
Oh, super natty episode in the works.
Oh, dude, I love that. That'll be a Halloween holiday special.
A special.
All
Yeah. We could dress up too.
So I think the biggest takeaway here has been just understand that the stakes are higher for women than they are men typically.
Yeah.
We need to make sure the people around us are safe and okay. We got to look out for each other. And if you need to fix your husband's breath, maybe perfume in the soup is the right answer. If somebody around you keeps going after people and the power dynamic looks off, maybe talk to them.
Yeah.
Just be on the lookout. Bolo, look at that, Tim. What's up? Be on the lookout for those around you. Care. And don't just use people. Be honest with each other.
And I think one thing too that I want to make sure people understand, right, is you may not have realized that you have acted in ways that have made women concerned or not want to talk to you or want to get as far away from you as possible. The thing is understand that what you're doing is terrifying to them. If you want to approach a woman and ask her for her number, maybe kind of like what Aaron said earlier, consider the signs. Is she making eye contact with you? Does she seem like she actually wants to talk to you? If she's not even looking at you, don't just stare at her and then approach her and be like, your leggings are sexy. Let me get your number.
I'm right behind you. Don't panic.
Yeah, I'm right behind you. Don't panic. Those are not good methods to approach a woman that you find interesting. Be open, be honest with them, tell them what you're interested in, and just don't be creepy. And if you have been creepy before, learn from those situations.
Be better.
Become better, please. Or if your friend, your bro, your whatever is creepy to women,
say something.
Tell them.
Talk to
hey,
them.
You need to be changing how you're doing. You need to be better.
Yeah. Don't open car
Even
doors.
if you don't know how to save someone, at least tell them what's going on. Hey, that guy took pictures of you.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hey, that dude's staring at you.
Yeah.
Hey, do you have somebody here who's going to get you home?
Also, just if a woman explains her story, don't minimize it because we all go through something. So just listen and understand that, it happens. Don't be like, oh, you expected that or because you're wearing this or that. It's never the case.
No.
So just be there and just honestly just step in and ask if they're okay. That's the bare minimum.
Yeah, we need to listen to understand, not to respond.
Yeah.
Well, you guys ready to wrap this thing up?
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and close her on out, buddy.
Thank you for joining us. This has been Aaron.
And Tim.
With
Kirsten.
Tag someone you're proud of for how they watch out for others.
even strangers. Someone who has inspired you to grow.
And comment on our recent posts with what you want to hear us discuss on a future episode.
Be good to yourselves and each other. We love you.
Peace!
Bye.